How about now? Now it's blisteringly loud. Or maybe I should start the good afternoon part again. Good afternoon. Thank you all for making this an absolutely full house. Those of you who can't see all the people in front of you, it's because they're invisible. But they are here. But thank you for being here. Today I'm going to talk about leading change, and I'm very appreciative for being invited back. I was here a couple of years ago, as you heard in the introduction, and I met amazing people, and I felt very privileged to be invited back again, so thank you again for having me. And yes, the theme of the conference is You, We Can. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure what that means. I often do the yes, we can part, but presumably it means we all can do this. We can make it happen. We can lead change. We can make it amazing. And so I'm going to share with you some experiences as well as some tools, and by the end of the session, I'm going to give you a link where if you just go to that link, I'm just going to give you a whole bunch of tools, including a book and a whole bunch of other stuff. So stick with me. All right, so as you heard, my name is Tim Wade. I speak, I'm basically a global conference speaker, so I speak around the world for audiences as large as 10,000 people, and as small as 3. So this is bigger than the 3 version, which is great. I do management development training programs in various parts of the world where I take high potentials and junior and middle managers and help them really just step up. A lot of them are in management roles and they may not quite know what to do once they're in that role. So I broaden their experience a little bit with that, and I help them with these sorts of programs as well. Plus we do strategic solutions workshop facilitation as well. These particular photos actually were here in Mumbai for Cathay Pacific subsidiary, and we shot these over in the Waterstones Hotel. Okay, and I pretty much speak, I'm based in Singapore, and I speak across the region. I was born in Malaysia, and was exported to Australia when I was 13. So I was made in Malaysia from foreign parts, and sort of like Apple, I guess, designed in California and then sort of made in China or something like that. But yeah, so I like being in Singapore. Within, I guess, a 5-hour flight, we can pretty much reach about half the world's population, which is pretty amazing. So yeah, so I've spoken to all these places, and some places in between. So I do some speeches on cruise ships, which is kind of cool. So in the South China Sea, I could probably put that on there, but that would be a bit weird. And these are some of my clients as well. Some of you probably know a number of them. In India, some of the clients include Dr. Reddy's, Axis Bank, and what was the other one? CA Technologies, I think down in Hyderabad or Bangalore. So around the place. I've been to India a few times. Very much enjoy it here. And I've brought my wife. So you might see her running around handing you slips of paper at some point during the presentation. That's Lydia. So when I'm not flying around, I've got this super family. And unfortunately, we all dress up except for Lydia. But yeah, so that's Lydia there. And you heard in the introduction, Zoe. Zoe's just turned 1. So that's curtailed my travel a little bit. But I super enjoy getting around. And yeah, she's not here with us this time. She's being taken care of by her grandparents. So Lydia and I have a bit of a tour of Mumbai coming up tomorrow, I think. All right. So let me share with you a couple of examples of some of the programs that we ran. And some of these were while I was either consulting with that particular organization or working on change programs within it in some other capacity. And one of the examples I wanted to share with you was with an organization. It was an electricity organization in Hong Kong. And the challenge was that this part of the customer care, for example, the customer care part of the organization had amazing metrics. And the metrics were basically saying they were top performing, everybody was happy, calls and queries were being answered within record time. The only problem was that all the consumers out there were complaining. And that didn't make any sense. So we sort of went in there and were shown this amazing facility. They were very proud of their meeting room where they could press a button and all the windows frosted up and things like that, which was quite cool. I must say I was very impressed with that meeting room. The challenge was, though, that while on paper the reports were showing internally that this particular unit was performing very, very well, in fact, there was a big disconnect with what the customer was experiencing. The customer, as it turns out, when we did some digging, couldn't get through. the way that the manager had set it up with the telco was to only allow in one extra call, for example, while everybody else was on the phone. So it can only ever be one person in the queue, which meant everybody else got the engaged signal, which is why they were all complaining and why all the results were showing up extremely well. So one of the things my big learning for that is whenever I go into a part of an organization or a team, or I'm invited to work with a particular group of people, I really do ask for the truth. And I ask the people, and some of the times I do the one-on-one sort of sessions, and I say, tell me the truth. What is really going on? What's really happening? What's really the cause of this particular problem? And I find it remarkable that in organizations, it's the communication disconnect that is usually stopping the information flow. And sometimes it's because people are fearful of the ramifications. So we heard sessions today talking about trust. How do we release that fear factor, I guess, in our employees so that they can actually tell us what's really going on? So we encourage things like skip-level meetings where people will have a meeting with not just their manager, but their manager's manager, one-on-ones a couple of times a year and things like that, just to get that communication flow happening and increasing that ability as well. Plus, we look at coaching styles. So how do we teach managers how to coach their employees, to be coaches, to be that trusted coach?